Welcome to episode 99 of Drew's Sports Crew here on this Monday night. Myself, Drew Skyberg, bringing you the news in the high school and Wisconsin sports world. Again, episode 99, one episode away from triple digits, episode 100. So, looking forward to that next week. We'll be on that next Sunday, is what it's looking like at the recording time. But again, we have Eastern Wisconsin Conference stuff we'll touch on first, as always. We'll touch on the boys and girls for basketball, and then we're going to go over to the Milwaukee Bucks. Not much news with Green Bay, as we know. Not much news with the Milwaukee Brewers right now. But baseball is coming up soon here. And basketball, we're over the halfway point. But we'll go to high school, and we're going to start with girls basketball. We'll talk about what's going on, some key things that took place this past week. All right, key takeaways, right? Two Rivers gets their first conference win of the season that took place. We also saw Valders being like the second hottest team in the conference, a 4-game win streak right now. They pass up Kiel for third in the conference. So impressive stuff there from the young Valders squad. And we also saw New Holstein, play a really close game around Roncalli this past week. 52-41 was that one. I mean, they won by 11, but, Roncalli putting up a pretty good fight, even though, the record being where it's at this year. But I'll go through here the standings, and we'll touch more on what's going on in the stats as well. So at the top, we have Brillion, right? The Brillion Lions 10-0 in conference, 15-2 overall. We have New Holstein, then 7-3 in conference, 10-9 overall. Valders, I mentioned them, third place, with that 4-game win streak, 6-4 in conference, 10-9 overall, over 500 now. And then Kiel 5-5 in conference, 11-9 overall. Chilton 5-5 in conference, 10-7 overall. Sheboygan Falls 4-6 in conference, 11-7 overall. Roncalli 2-8 in conference, 4-15 overall. Then Two Rivers rounds it out, 1-9 in conference, 3-15 overall. Let me get you to where that first win which Two Rivers got, which was at Chilton last Friday. That's where we'll go. And I mentioned Two Rivers 44-38 was that final. We only have stats for Chilton in this one. Alan Hurl had 14, but the fact here is, right, Two Rivers getting that win, which is good. Now every EWC team has a winning conference. But I do want to go to the stats here, talk about the points leader, right, of Two Rivers. Allison Cake is still leading the way, 22.4. Grace Chisel behind her, 20.9. Megan Schumann, 16.8 points a game for her. Emma Edelman, 16.2. Then Addison Schwilly, 15.9 of Sheboygan Falls. For rebounds, 12.4 a game for Addison Schwilly. Peyton Grenzer, 11.8 a game. Allison Kakis in third, 11.6. Assists per game, Olivia Shu, 4.3. Allison Kakis, then of Two Rivers, 4.2. Alyssa Wolfel, 4.1. So each 0.1 assists a part of each other, or down the road. So it's right, 0.1 between Shu and Kakis, 0.1 between Kakis and Wolfel. We'll go schedule this week. Let's talk about some games that are going on. We have a non-con one tonight in Brillion. We have Mishicot traveling to Brillion to face the Lions. Mishicot not being at the level they historically have been at, but Mishicot still being a good team. When you see Mishicot girls basketball, it's going to be a good game. So keep that in mind. That's the only game tonight. That's at 7 o'clock. So if you want to go out to Brillion, Sheboygan Falls and Kewanee, not Kiel, Kewaskum. Oh, wow. That game is tomorrow night, 7:15 tip-off. And that's, again, Sheboygan Falls at Kewaskum. Then we have I believe it's Northeast Wisconsin Christian Homeschool. I'm not sure on that. I believe that's the name here. They travel to Chilton. That's also tomorrow night. So I don't believe an EWC team on boys or girls side has faced this school before. So this season at least. Looking to gain more information on that. Chilton, New Holstein. So Chilton's got Tuesday, Thursday games this week. That Thursday one, Chilton going to New Holstein. We also have, so that's a full conference night Thursday. So that's the first game. We also have Kiel to Two Rivers, Roncalli to Brillion, and then Sheboygan Falls to Valders. So in regards to which game will be most competitive, it's hard. I mean, Kiel's been, trending down a little bit. Two Rivers gets their first win. I look for, I still look for Sheboygan Falls Valders being the most competitive one. Kiel, Two Rivers, and Chilton, New Holstein could be close. Look, New Holstein, again, only won by 11 to Roncalli. And then I think Brillion is going to take care of Roncalli on Thursday. Saturday, though, we have a good one. We have a rematch of last year's sectional, I believe, sectional final. Sectional final. We have Brillion traveling to Freedom. That's 6 o'clock on a Saturday night. So if you want to go to Freedom, watch a good one. There you go. Two Rivers is going to St. Mary's Springs on Saturday as well. It's 7:15. So some late Saturday games. And we'll leave it at that, though, for girls basketball. So those are your takeaways this week. I'll keep you updated on those non-con games. We got a lot of good games this week in conference for girls basketball. And look, the calendar is going to be turning to February later this week. And we're almost there. We're almost to March. And we know what happens in March. A lot of basketball. So let me get you something on this Wisconsin Christian homeschool. They are 3-2, independent. Okay. I'm trying to understand their game. Okay, so they've played Sturgeon Bay, Bowler, Elkhart Lake Glambula, Goodman Pembine, Tigerton, and then Bowler again, Marion, and Chilton. Okay. And that Bowler game second time around was canceled. You learn something new every day. So they're an independent. They play 8 games a season. So there you go. I believe it again. Northeast Wisconsin Christian Homeschool. That's the school Chilton's playing. So let's go to boys here. Let's talk about what's going on there. And in that we have some updates. We have Brilliant still being undefeated. That's the big thing. Valders has picked it up. They're on a 5-game win streak, second longest in the conference. Right. Kiel's still, doing Kiel things. They're still 16-1. Again, I feel like again the 16-1 team that's not getting talked about enough, right? That's how I've worded it here on the show. And then we have Roncalli in the middle of the pack at 4 right now, and that's where Robert Shimmick and I have had them in the preseason, and we're seeing that right now. And yeah, I want to go right away here to some of the games that took place this past week, right? Touch on what's going on. Maybe had some conference last Tuesday was when that happened. The teams we thought would won. I mean, Valders, Roncalli, Kiel, Brilliant all getting wins. Right, the top 4 teams in the conference beating right the 5 through 8 teams. That's what we saw. Then on Friday, we had, my days are off here. We had Thursday games. My apologies on that. We had Chilton traveling to Sheboygan South. They lose by 3 only to Sheboygan South. So competitive game for Chilton. New Holstein then beats St. Lawrence Seminary 61-47. So those were your updates. Not much taking place. What we're looking at right now is the Tuesday, January 31st games. So when we go there, looking at that. Okay, I got it up here. And then I'll go to standings. I promise. Actually, I want to talk about non-con games tonight first. Sorry, a lot of stuff to talk about. We have New Holstein and Winnebago Lutheran. We have that game. That's tonight, 7:15. Did I read the wrong games? I don't think I did. Hold on, I'm loading it up here. Yeah, it was girls. So girls basketball and boys basketball both play Northeast Wisconsin Christian Homeschool. Just to verify that. Yep, I am right. And then again, we have Mishicot and Brilliant playing tonight. So I was confused that both teams are playing them, right? So let me explain this. Northeast Wisconsin Christian Homeschool is playing Chilton, boys and girls basketball. Brilliant then. So to backtrack here, New Holstein and Winnebago Lutheran in boys basketball. That game's tonight, 7:15. Brilliant and Freedom boys play tonight. That's in Freedom because Brilliant girls are playing Mishcot at home. So I said everything right. Just a lot of games going on with similar opponents is all in non-con. So it's getting weird. But that's happening. Tuesday, then we have a few more games. We have a lot of non-con games on Tuesday. We have Roncalli traveling to Denmark, a tough game there to face the Vikings. We have St. Mary Springs going to Kiel. Then we have Southern Door going to Two Rivers. Those are on Tuesday, all 7 o'clock. That one's 5:45 for Northeast Wisconsin Christian Homeschool. Then we go to Friday. We got some conference action. We have Chilton, New Holstein, Sheboygan Falls, Roncalli, Two Rivers, Kiel, Valor's and Brilliant. So I'll say Valor's Brilliant being your game to watch, right? Whenever Brilliant faces one of the other top teams of the conference, you're watching, will this team stay undefeated? We'll have to wait and see. Friday will be a tough test for them, but they are at Brilliant. Chilton, New Holstein, I think is an underrated game. I think both those squads I think it'll be a good game is all I'll say, both near the same area in the conference. Sheboygan Falls Roncalli likes to be competitive, and then I like Kiel in the Tours Kiel game. So that's where I'll go with that. We have a Sheboygan Falls Wrightstown and a Waupun Kiel game next week. We'll get to those next week, but trust me, we're in good hands for some more good non-con games. You can always watch these games on YouTube as well. I think that's very underrated. So if you want to watch a live stream of some of these games, go for it. They're usually all available, depends on the school, and you can always find that all online. Here you go for your conference standings. Brilliant 9-0, 16-0 overall. Kiel 8-1, 16-1 overall. Then for Kiel, Valor 7-2. That 5-game win streak I mentioned, 11-4 overall. Roncalli 4-5 in conference, 6-11 overall. Two Rivers 3-6 in conference, 7-9 overall. New Holstein 2-7 in conference, 3-15 overall. Chilton 2-7 in conference, 5-11 overall. And then Sheboygan Falls rounds it out, 1-8 in conference, 1-13 overall. Your stats: Jeremy Lawrence leads the way in scoring still, 21.4 a game for him. Cole Hovey in second, 18.8. Pierce Arns in third, 18.7. Brady Richards of Two Rivers at the 4 spot, 16.2. And then Max Miller of Chilton, 15.6. Rebounds a game, Grant Munns of Kiel, 12.9 a game for him. Jeremy Lawrence in second, 11.8. Cole Hovey rounds it out, 8.6. Assists per game, Parker Brown of Brilliant, 6.6 a game for him. Pierce Arns, 5.1. Will Fieldbringer of Chilton, 4.2. There you go with your stats, standings, and your full report. Looking forward to see the good games we got this week. I would like to check out some of the rankings for boys basketball and girls basketball, so we're going to go and do that as well here. We will see Brilliant still number 1 in Division 3. They are ahead of West Salem, who is 12-1. Also Xavier. I mean, I know Xavier is still talked about historically, but they're back up there. They are number 3 right now in Division 3, a very underrated 14-0 team. Also Prescott, if you remember Prescott, 12-3. They checked in at number 10 this week. Little Chutes also still undefeated, 13-0. Still a lot of undefeated teams left, or somewhat a good chunk of undefeated teams. Other area teams, Howard's Grove, they're number 1 D4, 14-1 for Howard's Grove. So they're putting up a better season than last year. So impressive stuff for Howard's Grove. Otherwise, I mean, not really many area teams. De Pere in Division 1, of course, right? If you're looking Northeast Wisconsin, somewhat. Otherwise, yeah, I mean, those are your boys' rankings. We'll get the girls. We'll see where Brilliant checks in. Right now, Brilliant is number 9, and of course, they're facing number 1 Freedom on Saturday. I believe that game is for the girls, as I mentioned. So that should be a good one. And then Utzberg checks in at 7. Otherwise, for area teams, are you going to see anything else? Sheboygan Lutheran at 10, D4. Otherwise, that's looking like right. I mean, we have Kakana in there at 10 and D1. Hortonville's in there, number 2, D1. But otherwise, that's Nina 4 and D1. But those are your rankings. Again, thanks to wisports.net. That's where I'm finding all this information. Go check them out. That link will be down below. Let's get to the next part of the episode here. The Milwaukee Bucks. Yes, we're going to talk about the Bucks. They've been hot. You can say it's been Chris Milton coming back, but again, he's playing 15 minutes a night. But the offense has been doing things they haven't done all year. And not to say the offense has been bad. It's been pretty solid this year. Of course, that 9-0 start was important, but look, Bucks are on a 4-game win streak, and the amount of points they put up: 150 last Monday, 107 against Denver, 141 against Indiana, 135 against New Orleans. Granted, I don't want to say they've gotten lucky, but they've played a lot of teams with players either resting or players who are injured. So, for example, we saw, Detroit, of course, has had injuries, and it's been a tough year for them. Denver, Nikola Jokic didn't play. Indiana, Tyrese Halliburton didn't play. New Orleans, Zion and CJ McCollum didn't play. So, yeah, it's fun. That's helped the Bucks out. But we do have some home games this week. I love to see more home games, and it's been a good stretch of home games. We have Charlotte tomorrow night, 7 o'clock. We have the Los Angeles Clippers, a Thursday home game on TNT. Guess what time? 9 o'clock, 9 p.m. tip-off. And in that one, I'm going to try to go to the game. I'll be honest. I'm going to do my best to be at that one. 9 p.m. tip. The reason being, Los Angeles Clippers, West Coast team, really 7 o'clock for them. This game's on TNT. TNT cares about the national audience. Los Angeles, big market. Milwaukee, not so much. So they're going to give Los Angeles the benefit of the doubt and put it at 7 o'clock their time, but it's in Milwaukee. So we'll have a game Thursday night that gets done at like 11:30. Miami, then, we have them on Saturday, 7 o'clock. That'll be a good one too. So looking forward to that. Next Monday, I'll get to those games when we get there, but they go on the road, a 3-game trip out in the West Coast. And then their reward for that 3-game road trip on the West Coast, you come back to play Boston at home. But a lot of nationally televised games coming up. Like, I'm talking 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 of your next the 10 games are nationally televised. I mean, that's what the Bucks are now, and I love to see it. And we're also just checking out, right, trade deadline stuff. We're 50 games through the year already, right? 33 and 17. Right now, there's talks still on trades. Jay Crowder being rumored potentially to the Bucks. And that would be guys like the guys who'd be giving up. It's like George Hill, Serge Ibaka, some guys like that. And the 2nd-round pick, I believe, was thrown in there, in the rumored offer. But right now, I mean, monitoring trade wouldn't hurt totally, right? But hoping Middleton works those minutes back up. I've talked about Brook Lopez, right? I mean, Brook Lopez is having one of the most underrated seasons, right, out of all players, quite frankly. I mean, what he's done defensively at his age, after coming off that back injury, it's been really a huge deal for this Bucks team. Giannis hasn't played much the last 15 games, but when he has played, puts up 50 last night. I mean, come on. Love to see it. Chris Middleton, right? We're working him back in. Drew Holiday's looked great. Grayson Allen has been that solid role player. It's great to have Joe Ingles out there. I believe he's been very underrated. And I'm just really excited to see what this team, hopefully Bobby gets well soon, right? We love Bobby, but we're dealing with an MCL issue. But otherwise, Giannis 31.7 a game for him, 31, 12, and 5. He's looked, we've talked about it. He's looked fantastic. He's looked top 3 MVP, top 5. It's hard with the games. That's why I think he's more of 4 or 5 right now on the MVP ladder, unfortunately, but still credit where credit's due. Brook Lopez, top 3 defensive player of the year candidate. I can say that. Otherwise, right? Drew Holiday averaging 25 and 7 with a steal, 1.3 steals. I think he'll be an all-star. I do. I think he can make the reserve spot with how he's performed this year. I hope he does. He's looked great. But yeah, love what I'm seeing from the Milwaukee Bucks. I'm hoping we can keep this win streak going, and I have my Bucks prediction post that'll be out tonight, so you can check that out. But I can go over scheduling here before we wrap up. You'll find, of course, it'll be Wednesday. Wednesday, we will have an episode of Journey to a Million. That'll be live at roughly 5 o'clock, 5 to 5:15. I'll keep you posted on that. Wednesday morning, I'll be airing an episode of Drew's College Athlete Spotlight. It was recorded. If you're watching on YouTube, you would have saw it yesterday. Robbie Michael, a Division III football and basketball player for Lakeland University, came on the show. He was, again, former KLC standout from football and Sheboygan Lutheran standout in basketball, right? Just a phenomenal athlete, great guest. It's fun to have him on. Had him on in his football season, senior year of football for him in 2021. We had him on. So that's cool to see. And yeah, you'll see Drew's basketball crew. I'm thinking Friday this week. We'll have a nice Friday slate. Want to watch some Friday basketball? Don't know how to go about betting? Guess what? Drew's basketball crew's got you covered. So I'll be having that game out, or that episode for those games. There we go. And then I'll have my lineup up as well. Maybe some props. We'll see. But looking forward to that. And then episode 100 of Drew's Sports Crew will be coming your way next Sunday. I know it's exciting. I know. I'm really looking forward to it as well. And lastly, right, Fantasia Sports has the new mode out, higher lower. And you got to go check that out. It's the over-unders, the classic. We'll be throwing that in Drew's Basketball Crew this week. So keep that in mind. If you want to see what the over-under looks like on there, go check it out. I have a link. It's on the link tree. And then also, right, we love what Point Brewery is doing, right? An official sponsor of the podcast. Thank you to Point Brewery as well. And that's all the announcements I got. So that's going to wrap it up here for myself, Drew Skyberg, here on this Monday night. Thank you all for listening to yet another episode of Drew's Sports Crew, the perfect podcast for you.